Almost every AI system you use was trained on the open internet. So, what happens to AI if that internet stops being free and open? A widely shared post in the machine learning community made a point that is easy to overlook. A huge amount of modern AI and machine learning is built on top of the internet. The data that trains models, the papers researchers read, the datasets people share, the tools they download, all of it flows over an internet that we quietly assume will stay open and equally accessible. That assumption is the foundation. And foundations are exactly the things you stop noticing until someone threatens them. The specific cause behind the post was net neutrality, the principle that internet providers should treat all traffic equally without blocking or throttling services or charging for priority fast lanes. The linked campaign traced the long back and forth over it. Regulators have restored net neutrality protections at times, only for courts to strike down the authority to enforce them at others. It is a fight that keeps returning. And each round decides whether the network underneath everything stays a level playing field. You might ask why machine learning researchers specifically should care about a telecom policy fight. The answer is about who gets to build. In a world without net neutrality, a provider could strike deals that give large, well-funded companies smooth, fast access while everyone else is left in a slower lane. For a small research lab, an independent developer, or a student pulling down a massive dataset, that difference is not academic. It quietly decides who can afford to participate in AI and who gets priced out. There is a real irony worth sitting with. AI is often sold as a great equalizer, a technology that puts powerful capabilities in everyone's hands. But AI is enormously hungry for data and bandwidth. If the pipes themselves become gate-kept, then the technology that promised to level the field could instead deepen the divide, because the players who can pay for priority access are the ones already sitting on the most resources. A closed internet does not slow AI down evenly. It slows down the newcomers first. It helps to remember how machine learning actually grew. This is a field defined by openness. Researchers post preprints on RZIV before formal publication. Landmark datasets are shared freely. Code and increasingly model weights are released for anyone to build on. That culture of open access is not a nice bonus layered on top. It is a big part of why the field moved so fast. A more closed, tiered internet threatens the very plumbing that made that rapid, collaborative progress possible in the first place. To be fair, this is not a one-sided issue, and pretending otherwise helps no one. Internet providers argue that managing a network costs real money, that heavy users impose real load, and that some flexibility in how traffic is handled encourages the investment that keeps building out capacity. Those are not empty arguments. The honest position is that there is a genuine tension between the freedom of an open network and the economics of running one. The disagreement is about where to draw the line, not whether costs exist. Step back, and this connects to a pattern you see across technology again and again. Something starts open and generative, a wild commons where anyone can build. Then, as it becomes valuable, there is steady pressure to enclose it, to add gates and tiers and tolls. The open internet, open source, open research, all of them face this same slow tide. The lesson is not despair. It is that open foundations do not stay open by default. They stay open because people keep noticing and pushing back. So what does caring about this actually look like beyond a moment of outrage? It looks like following the regulatory rulings that decide these questions because they genuinely do shape the terrain you work on. It looks like supporting the institutions that keep knowledge open, the preprint servers, the public datasets, the free tools. And it looks like continuing to build and share in the open yourself, adding to the commons rather than only drawing from it. The health of the foundation depends on the people standing on it. The core message of that post is worth carrying with you. The AI revolution did not appear out of nowhere. It grew on top of an open, freely accessible internet, and it quietly depends on that internet staying open. Whether it does is not guaranteed by nature. It is decided over and over by policy and by attention. If you build with these tools, the openness of the network beneath them is not someone else's problem. It is part of the infrastructure your own work stands on. Net neutrality is one of those issues that feels distant until you trace it back to your own work. It's closer than it looks. Follow neural noise to keep an eye on the forces shaping AI.